Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CM Trading. And today is May 3rd, 2023, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the market's getting ready for this FOMC rate decision later today. And speaking of which, this major economic event is scheduled this evening at 8 p.m. South African time. It's an interest rate decision called the FOMC rate statement. Now, as the markets are responding to this each individually, starting out with the Forex symbols, we're watching the Japanese yen strengthen versus the US dollar and retrace at resistance. Now, looking at the indices, the Dow Jones takes a nosedive and a bit of a recovery while the NASDAQ just tapering lower. Looking at commodities, gold spikes to above 2014 per ounce, while oil takes a nosedive to $71 a barrel. Now looking at the stocks actually take a hit and sell lower, while Bitcoin remains unchanged. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're going to start with the Japanese yen, and clearly it has retraced from our 137. Now that was a major resistance level. It's a multi-time frame level, and we did mention that yesterday to look out for it, and sure enough, that's what happened. Now looking at a 4-hour chart, you can see that much clearly. I mean, it's a decent retracement. Now looking at the other majors, and this is what's going to happen today. Euro is just on resistance, so is the GBP, and just trading in tandem together versus the US dollar. So there's nothing off kilter there. So nothing to really just jump in and to anticipate later today's movements. Now looking at the commodities, starting out with gold, look at that. Look at that massive move on the upside to 217. We're right now trading at 214. Now this is a decent spike. Remember, we are just off of our all-time highs by over 30 to 40 points, and not a big deal for us to break out all-time highs. So keep that in mind as we go into today's number. Now looking at crude oil, the other direction to $71 a barrel as this is retracing. Okay, now clearly it could go back to $65. Okay, it's filled in the gap, took a little bit of a dead cat bounce, hit those two moving averages, and then just faltered. So this is really like a layup, as this has really retraced quite aggressively. Now looking at those US markets, okay, starting out with the Dow Jones, this is what happened yesterday. Look at this nosedive. We went from 34,300 down to 33,500. That's a 1,000-point move in one day. Now we are bouncing off of it, okay, but nevertheless not to a 50% retracement where I would have expected it to go all the way back to 33,900-ish level. We're about 100 points off of that. Now, going into this number later today, there's going to be a lot of volatility. Just be aware of the areas, okay? You're not going to be at the extreme high. You're not going to be at the extreme low, but keep an eye on it, okay? Because it's going to be volatile. Now, looking at the NASDAQ, not much doing. You know, we're off a little bit, about 100 to 200 points, but not that big. So it comes to show you the NASDAQ is much more solid right now, at least for now, as opposed to the Dow Jones. Now looking at the individual stocks, Apple just retracing here. To note, Apple will be coming out with earning reports tomorrow, so this is going to be an important event. Now looking at Facebook tapering off also, looking at Microsoft also tapering off, not by big, okay? Everybody's waiting for this number later today, so keep that in mind. Now lastly, looking at Bitcoin, not doing much, okay? Just trading sideways, okay, at this 28,635. One more thing to mention, JP Morgan, which is the largest bank in the United States, did do a gap up and filled in the gap. We can see that a little bit clearer right there. So all intents and purposes, it's not weak, it's not strong, it's trying to find a footing. And I think today is going to give us some direction as to which way the markets are going, especially with the Fed giving us some direction and forecast. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day and a successful day. Just remember, stop losses, take profits, implement them, because it's going to be volatile. Thank you.